Leela was a quiet girl who lived on the edge of a small village. She loved wandering in the meadows, collecting wildflowers, and listening to the wind rustle through the tall grass. But no matter how many times she smiled at the other children, they rarely invited her to play. She often felt invisible, as if her voice was too soft for anyone to hear. One warm spring afternoon, Lila followed a butterfly farther than she had ever gone before. It flitted through a narrow path between two ancient oak trees. The moment she stepped between them, the air felt warmer, and the breeze carried soft, musical whispers. She stopped, looking around. "Who's there?" she asked. The whispers giggled. "This way." Lila, startled. She followed the sound until she entered a glade bathed in golden light. Flowers in every color of the rainbow swayed gently, even though there was no wind. Then she saw them tiny, glowing figures darting among the blossoms. Fairies. One, with wings like petals of a pink rose, flew up to her face. "Welcome to the Whispering Forest," she said. "I'm Faye, the Guardian." Lila's eyes widened. You know my name." Faye nodded. "We've watched you for a long time. You listen to the world when others don't. That's why you can hear our voices." For hours, the fairies showed her their home flowers that sang when touched, streams with water like liquid crystal, and mushrooms that glowed softly in the shade. But the beauty was tinged with sadness. Many flowers drooped, their colors fading. "What's wrong?" Lila asked. Faye's glow dimmed. "The heart bloom is missing. It's the oldest and most magical flower in the forest. Its light keeps our world alive. Without it, the Whispering Forest will fade, and so will we." Lila felt a strange courage stir inside her. "I'll help you find it." The fairies exchanged hopeful glances. "It won't be easy," Faye said. The heart bloom was stolen by the shadow moth, who hides in the Forgotten Hollow. That night, they gave Lila a tiny lantern made of silver leaf. "This will guide you when the shadows try to confuse you," Faye explained. Lila followed the fairies deep into the forest. As they traveled, the trees grew taller and darker, their branches like twisted arms. Whispers turned into eerie echoes. Strange shapes flickered between the trunks. At last, they reached the Forgotten Hollow, a place where no flowers grew, and the air felt heavy. In the center, on a jagged black stone, sat the shadow moth. Its wings were wide as a cloak, shimmering with darkness. Behind it, trapped in a cage of thorny vines, glowed the heart bloom, its petals pale and weak. The shadow moth hissed, "The light belongs to me now. Without it, the forest will wither, and I will rule the silence." Lila stepped forward. "Why do you want silence? The forest's whispers are beautiful." The moth's eyes gleamed. "They never spoke to me. I was always alone in the dark." Lila's heart ached. She knew what it felt like to be unseen. "If you give back the heart bloom, the fairies will welcome you. You won't be alone anymore." The shadow moth hesitated, its wings trembling. "And if they don't?" "They will," Lila promised. "I'll make sure of it." Slowly, the moth released the heart bloom. Lila ran forward, cutting the thorny vines with a shard of crystal Faye had given her. The moment the flower was free, light poured out in golden waves, washing over the hollow. The darkness melted away, revealing green grass and blooming flowers. The shadow moth shrank to a smaller, gentler creature, its wings now deep purple instead of black. It fluttered beside Lila, unsure but hopeful. When they returned to the Whispering Forest, the fairies rejoiced. The heart bloom's light restored the colors, the songs of the flowers grew louder, and the streams sparkled again. Faye flew to Lila's shoulder. "You have saved us, and you've given us something even greater, a new friend." She turned to the shadow moth. "You are welcome here." The moth lowered its head. "Thank you for seeing me." From that day on, Lila visited the Whispering Forest often. The fairies would dance around her, and the moth would tell her stories of the old forest. She was never invisible again because she had learned that even the quietest voice could change a world. And sometimes, when the wind was just right, the people in the village could hear faint whispers in the breeze. They didn't know it, but the forest was saying, "Thank you."